4, Scene 2 of Romeo and Juliet begins back at the Capulets' home. Lord Capulet directs his servants as they prepare for the wedding. Juliet enters and quickly kneels to beg her father's pardon. Seizing on her obedience, he moves the wedding up a day. With youthful exuberance, he plans to tell Paris the news and stay up all night to prepare himself for the feast. Juliet restores the appearance of order with her expression of repentance. She gives her father what he wants to hear, obedience. However, it is Juliet's disobedience toward her father as she prepares to execute the friar's plan that has given her the strength to pretend to obey him. Here again, Shakespeare emphasizes youth and age. Juliet's immature actions go against the instructions of her older father. The friar is again helping the young person to make a mistake. Act 4, Scene 3 of Romeo and Juliet continues the action from the previous scene. Juliet's parents leave her, allowing her to rest in preparation for the wedding day. Juliet asks the nurse to leave too, so she can pray. Juliet then describes her terrible fears while she holds the vial the friar gave her. She wonders if the friar gave her actual poison to cover up his role in her and Romeo's secret wedding, but then dismisses the idea. She imagines waking and suffocating in the foul air of the tomb, or being overcome with madness and committing a violent suicide. When she envisions Tybalt's ghost seeking out Romeo, she is moved to swallow the contents of the vial. In this way, she will either join Tybalt in death or be reunited with Romeo as planned. Juliet seeks solitude as she is on the brink of leaving her family behind. Her fears show her doubts about the friar, but also her insecurity about her ability to handle her new life that may greet her when she wakes up. Ultimately, she chooses the unknown, Romeo and her new life, over the known, marriage to Paris and life with the Capulets. Act 4, Scene 5 of Romeo and Juliet takes place in Juliet's bedroom, where the nurse is amazed that Juliet is not awake and making preparations. When the nurse realizes that Juliet is not just asleep, she calls out that Juliet is dead. Her parents rush in and quickly fall into despair. The friar, Paris, and musicians enter the Capulet house for the wedding, and Lord Capulet announces that Juliet is dead. Everyone cries out in despair. Lady Capulet mourns for her only child and wants to die with her. Lord Capulet mourns over the loss of an heir, Paris. Paris mourns the wife he never had. The nurse expresses utter misery. The friar intervenes to remind them that Juliet is now in heaven. The friar encourages them to embrace the death and prepare for the funeral. The scene ends with a quarrel between Peter and the musicians hired to play at Juliet's wedding and now, seemingly, her funeral. When the nurse alerts the household to Juliet's apparent death, each person's reaction reveals his or her character and their relationship with Juliet. Lady Capulet reveals herself to be a true mother. Lord Capulet reveals himself to be a patriarchal figure. The friar, who alone knows that Juliet still lives, dismisses their cries because she's in heaven. This is another case of dramatic irony. Like Friar Lawrence, the audience also knows that at this point in the play, weeping is unnecessary since Juliet is not really dead. The argument between Peter and the musicians provides comic relief. Although having such a comic scene following the heart-wrenching mourning seems inappropriate to modern sensibilities, Shakespeare often used it to give the audience relief after an emotionally intense scene.